Macabre Cast.
The devil's on the loose and he's dancing with the mummy.
Doc Mark and Chorus, the little mummy, here to bring you another episode of Macabre Cast, where we'll be dropping R's where they belong and adding them where they don't. Welcome back, Monster Kids, to another Macabre Cast Monday. Chorus, nice to see you again.
Hi, Doc. We've got a bit of a heat wave going on around here.
What do you say we begin with some horror news? Miramax's Halloween TV series is going into production and has confirmed they're going back to basics, back to the beginning, where they're going to focus on John Carpenter's original film and focus on characters that we haven't seen too much of or maybe don't know anything about. But I guess that other central characters like Laurie Strode and Dr. Sam Loomis will be part of this storyline, whether it be in the background or not, which excites me. Makes me think that they're going back to 78 or even years following. So I hope it's a lot like that flashback scene in Kills. That would be excellent. And the Crystal Lake series coming out to Peacock, I guess is going to star Charlize Theron as Pamela Voorhees, is what I'm hearing. And the series is mostly going to focus on the lore of the first 4 Friday the 13th films. It will include several periods and things from further sequels, but mostly just on those first 4. Abigail comes to Blu-ray with deleted scenes and audio commentary on July 9th. And Smile 2 expected out October 18th of 2024. While at the theater recently, I caught the trailer for the Americanized style of Speak No Evil, remaking that Australian film that appears on Shudder. The trailer gives everything away, including the shocking ending, so please avoid. And if you have the choice, see the original. This is a film that did not need to be remade or rebooted. Again, I stress, please remake the bad films, not the good ones. And I had mentioned many episodes back that Hammer Films is back in the game. And we talked about the new Dr. Jekyll movie starring Eddie Izzard, and it never made it to America. It was in the UK. Well, it comes to America this August. That's Hammer's Dr. Jekyll, starring Eddie Izzard. And I know a lot of people think this is probably somehow jumps into the whole gender thing. Hammer says not at all. You just have to check the film out for yourself.
She said,
Don't forget, you can be one of the cool kids here, one of the cool monster kids, like Grim Kim, Scary Larry, Horror Chat Matt, Once in a Blue Moon, Whitney and Brittany, by recording your voice message and sending that file through Messenger to me, Doc Mark, on the Macabre Theater Facebook page. Just hit that little message button and add your voice file with your thoughts, opinions, reviews. Join the family.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
You look like you're having fun. Here's one of the cool kids now. It's Horror Chat Matt.
Hey Doc Mark and Karis, Horror Chat Matt here, and I just want to let everybody know in the Macabre Cast family and the Monster Kids out there that I went to your show on Friday, your Blizzard of Oz cover band, and I have to say you guys were amazing. What a terrific show you guys put on. I had a lot of fun there. another special treat. I got to meet Grim Kim in person, and she's a wonderful person as well. Super friendly, as you can tell from her messages that she leaves. Speaking of Grim Kim and movies that are too intense, her top 5 list to possibly do a rewatch. I don't have a top 5, but I will agree with her with The Strangers. I did just recently rewatch it, and there's just something about it. It's funny because, you know, we all love horror movies, but everybody has certain lines they don't like to cross, and The Strangers just kind of felt mean to me, which I guess that's what they were going for. Randomness of the attack. And then my other top 3, I guess you would say, are basically all in the same vein. While I do love a good revenge flick, these 3 movies tend to bother me a bit with how intense they are. The Hills Have Eyes, I Spit on Your Grave, and number 1 for me is definitely Last House on the Left. Like I said, I do enjoy a good revenge movie, but these movies just kind of felt mean, and just not for me. Different strokes for different folks. If you enjoy them, that's your thing. It's just not for me. Anyways, Stark Mark, once again, love the show, love meeting Grim Kim, and as always, keep bringing the macabre to all your legions of monster kids.
Thank you, Hard Chat. I always look forward to hearing from you. I Spit in Your Grave has been in the video horror section since I was a kid. I don't consider that a horror film and never did. That's an angry, hateful, gratuitous rape movie where, like, 7 guys rape a woman and you witness all 7 rapes, and then she gets revenge one by one and the credits roll. If you want to see a good revenge movie, and if it has to do with rape, the movie Revenge on Shudder, at least the rape scene isn't gratuitous, it isn't long, it's done far better than they do in that film, I Spit in Your Grave. A little bit of suspension of disbelief, but a far better revenge film if you want to see a woman take out her rapists. But in general, I stay away from movies like that. Last House on the Left is a tough watch. Probably more horror than I Spit in Your Grave, but again, I stay away from those films. So if I want to see a good woman gets revenge film, I go with Carrie. I'd rather see her take out her bullies at the prom. That's more my cup of tea. And also, thank you, Matt, for coming out to check out Blizzard of Oz and the warm review that you had for it. I hope to see you again sometime soon. So last week, I talked a little bit about Ty West because Maxine, the newest in the X trilogy, is coming out. And I decided to revisit one of his first films, or back to the very beginning, House of the Devil, which is on Shudder right now. And I can't stress to you how good of a movie this is. It was released in 2009, and it's set in the 80s. And if you like period pieces, this one kind of goes all out. It looks like it was actually filmed in the 80s. They do an excellent job. It's a simple story about a girl named Samantha who applies for a quote-unquote babysitting job. Now, she's played by Jocelyn Donahue. And what a great final girl, because she probably acts the most realistic, maybe the way most of us would act. She really pulls it off well. And she goes and meets Tom Noonan, the actor Tom Noonan. You know, he played the Tooth Fairy in the original TV film Manhunter, the very first film ever made about Hannibal Lecter. And other than the absence of Anthony Hopkins in that movie, that TV movie was better than the big budget film version of it, Red Dragon, in my opinion. And again, Tom Noonan, who plays the Tooth Fairy in that, is just chilling, terrifying. But he plays Mr. Ullman in this. He's the one that Samantha goes to see about this quote-unquote babysitting job. Dee Wallace also is Samantha's landlady. She just makes like a brief cameo. Now, this is a satanic cult movie, unlike that schlock piece that I had on Horrible Mention last week, Hack-O-Lantern. House of the Devil is definitely worth a watch. Bit of a slow burn, but boy, does it pay off.
You have to forgive me, Samantha, because I've not been completely honest.
We're from the desert, you know.
You see, we actually don't have a child.
They lied to you.
I know.
They're liars.
Okay, I know you're right. But it's $400. This equals first month's rent and then some, and all I have to do is sit inside and watch TV. This is huge. This one night changes everything for me.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Talk to me.
Hello, Dark Mark. Hi, little Karis. How are you? Hoping you're staying dry and mummified in this heat wave. I'm inside with a bunch of fans blasting on me. I dare not set foot outside until later when I will be floating in the ocean like a proper mermaid. Still waiting for the sun to get a lot less strong. I was just tooling around with some ideas for this week, a little contribution I wanted to make, and I had settled on the theme of movies about siblings because there were a few top ones tumbling around in my head that a couple I want to rewatch soon. But here's just a little list, and maybe you've seen some of them, maybe you haven't. Recommendations, opinions, welcome! Okay, my first on is The Other, 1972, with the young John Ritter in it, about the twins, Niles and Holland, and their mother is grieving loss in what transpires over the summer. Mark has alluded to this movie too, and I just love this movie and certain scenes as well. I'm not going to give any spoilers. Along the same vein is Goodnight Mommy. The original Austrian version is 2014. The remake starring Naomi Watts is 2022. Did they need to remake it? No, they didn't need to remake it at all. I haven't watched the remake. Like, do I really need to? I loved the original. Again, the young boys, twins, are acting a bit peculiar, and the mother is recuperating from a terrible car accident, and you just have to see how it ends up all coming out in the wash, let's say. I highly recommend this movie. I'm sure the American remake does it justice too. My third is Frailty, 2001, starring Matthew McConaughey. It was directed by Bill Paxton, which I think I knew at some point, but it was so nice to hear that again. I'm ready for a rewatch. It's been so long since I saw this one, but I mean, the topic is so interesting where, you know, the father decides that vengeance is in order and perhaps compels his boys to follow suit, and it's just such an interesting movie about nature and nurture, and are we predestined to certain outcomes, and yeah, just really, really good. Fourth, feeling cute, might take my sister to the beach later and just lay her out on the sand because she can't walk. Yes, I'm talking about Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I'm sending a letter to Daddy. Oh, I just love it. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. I know you have. You may need to rewatch that. And the ending is just fantastic. It's like a tagline of mine now with my twin sister. I have this meme of Betty Davis getting ready. Feeling cute. Might take my sister to the beach. I love it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple more. Sisters, 1972, Margot Kidder. Somebody swears she has seen a murder through the apartment window. But has she? I love it. It's so 1972. It's Brian De Palma. It definitely has his feel of ultra realistic, abstract, disjointed. The storyline, if I remember, it doesn't quite go in a, you have to jump back and forth in the, it's just fantastic. I love Margot Kidder. She can do no wrong in my book, and it was just fantastic. You know how I love those 70 movies. Okay, I don't know how many I've dropped, but I'm going to leave one more. I love, and I think that Dark Mark has seen it as well, Spider Baby, 1967. Lon Chaney Jr. playing Bruno the chauffeur, and he has to take care of these young adult charges in their house, and let's just say the eccentric way they live, and other people trying to take advantage of the situation, but who is the spider and who is the fly? And yes, I'm going to leave it at that. Highest recommendation. Mark, I just wanted to say, Donnie Darko, I've only seen this scene here, I need to watch it all the way through, and I agree, it's kind of like, you can make of that movie what you will, depending on what mood you're in and everything else, but fantastic recommendation, Dark Mark. Thank you so much. I had the opportunity to see Dark Mark again as the Prince of Darkness, Blizzard of Oz, this past Friday at the boat. Killing it. Diary of a Madman in particular, it was just transcending to me, and the whole night was just fantastic. I mean, when the artist stays in character to tell the soundboard or light guy that needs to be up, down, this, that, and he's saying it as Ozzy, the commitment to the show, especially in such a little hamlet, unsurpassed. It was just, if you all, I know most of you have. Hi Matt, nice meeting you. I'm so happy to have met you. I think I've met everyone in the Drac Pack now. And anyone who is listening, if you get the chance to see Blizzard of Oz, highest recommendation. Unreal. Okay, I'm going to go check out for now and get my little pool noodle ready for some mermaid floating. Yes, I'm going to use the pool noodle. It's okay. I don't trust my floating abilities this year. It's okay. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time.
And Brownie agrees. Brownie, the corpse-sniffing dog. Okay, well, I'm never going to watch The Other again. Even though it just might be some twisted memory I have as a little kid. I don't want anything to do with that movie. I'll have to check out Goodnight Mommy and a Frailty. Those I have not seen. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, classic. Sisters, saw it, don't remember, probably got to revisit. Spider Baby. If you haven't seen Spider Baby, stop what you're doing and see this movie. I actually own a copy of this. This was during a time when Chaney was really into his alcoholism, but still delivers a powerhouse performance. Probably the last powerhouse performance he would ever deliver. And you've got a young Sid Haig. This is a great movie, and you need to check it out. Thank you for the call, Grim Kim. Always an interesting ride. And a big thank you for coming out to see Blizzard of Oz a second time. And just as warm a review as you gave before. Thank you for all your support of that tribute act.
Is this something you could share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?
Greetings, Dark Mark and Karis the Little Mummy. Scary Larry here, summer's here, and horror's on my mind. Now, remember our golden years, where you would either convince an older person, or say ride your bike to the local video store, to rent something fun and gory? Remember seeing the cover art on the VHS boxes, later on DVD covers? Now remember how they say, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, growing up, I passed over Trauma's Mother's Day from 1980 because for some reason the front cover just didn't appeal to me. Well, fast forward 44 years, and my intuition is all, yeah, I told you so. Okay, I might be a tad harsh, but this is one of those movies where as the end credits are rolling, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I just watch? Oy. So, 70s had some exploitative themes, one being the rape revenge movie. Such cult classics like Wes Craven's Last House on the Left or I Spit on Your Grave. These tend to be dark, visually disturbing movies, the kind you feel the need for a hot shower after. Well, leave it to the nutbags at Trauma Productions to come up with their own. Dubbed a horror comedy, I neither found it to be horror or a comedy. Go figure. We are introduced to Mother and her two boys, Ike and Adley, living in the woods somewhere close to New Jersey, usually the home state of all things trauma-related. With hints of Texas Chainsaw and Murdersome Family vibes, Mother and her two dim-witted sons kidnap women, and the boys assault and murder them for her approval. They're portrayed as hillbilly inbreds, the kind that brush your teeth with a finger, yet they seem to have all the modern conveniences of that time. Anywho, we're then introduced to three women who were college roommates, who called themselves a Rat Pack, famous in college for their practical jokes. They're older now, but apparently take turns getting together 1 weekend a year for some reminiscing, and of course they chose a remote woods that just happened to be Ike and Adley's hunting grounds. Now, Trina, Abby, and Jackie, these three women, first, you don't see any chemistry between the three of them. It's like they chose three characters that would never hang out together and have them hang out together and be thick as thieves for some strange reason. They put them in strange clothes. They're in high heels trying to walk through the woods to go camping. And like at night, they're either wearing next to nothing at all or a peignoir expensive lingerie robe, which makes zero sense. Anyhow, these three are overpowered in their sleeping bags by frickin' Frack, and they're dragged back to their house to show Mother their latest find. Now, two watch in horror as Jackie is brutalized and left for dead, and they plot their revenge and escape, which the brothers make rather easy by untying them to feed them and get called out by their mother for some physical fitness training, leaving them untied to escape. They find Jackie where she's hidden in a dresser drawer. You have to see it to understand. And they escape into the woods. But Jackie, she can't make it. She dies from her injuries. So the women make a pact to kill all three in revenge. Oh, and for extra confusion, Mother keeps referring to Queenie, her apparently feral sister, who is constantly stalking them in the surrounding woods, or so she'd have you believe. Is she real? Is she imaginary? The only real entertainment is the house itself, or its trivial background. So apparently the house they shot this film in and around had been unoccupied for 15 years since the owner was murdered in real life. My suggestion, avoid this 1.5 star studded dud like the plague.
Any movie that shows me what happens when you force someone to drink Drano, I like.
People can't get too angry because this movie was directed by a woman. One of the problems, Larry, may be that you saw this just too late in life as an adult. I remember as a kid, I actually enjoyed this film, not for the savage assault of women.
Ew, seriously?
But more for the revenge. And I actually like the whole Queenie thing. It's kind of like wanting your kids to be good because of Krampus. I do see, however, how this type of film doesn't play too well in today's times. Until next time, stay on the road, keep clear of the moors, and beware the moon. But most of all, be good to yourself. This is Dark Mark, signing off. See you soon.
This is a Macabre Theater production.